Hey, Inspired Tribe. Good morning, and welcome to a breaking news live stream here. Because of current events, we decided to come on live and report on something that just happened in New York City, and then talk about the big picture here because we believe it is so important. Let me welcome you all and wait for you all to come on. I see Johnny's here and Bobby are already here. Welcome, everyone. We're just waiting for a few people to jump on because we believe how we look at these things that come to our attention through various sources can absolutely change and transform what is happening. So why we are coming on, it's okay. I'm going to give you a little bit of background. If you haven't been following and been with us on a channel over the past few days. So I want to say probably 10, 12 days ago, I came across this article by a guy called Frank Jacob that put this on a big platform that I read from time to time. And he wrote about a new group, a mysterious group that came out, released videos on YouTube, and they called themselves the Guardians of the Looking Glass. And something in Frank's article resonated deeply within me. I watched the videos. I won't tell you right now what I felt when I watched the videos because it's not really as important, but it was an immediate trigger, a positive trigger for me to reach out to Frank Jacob, invite him, and we've had two interviews since. One last week, one we just posted this morning, and you can watch them. But basically, this mysterious group came out and put out 3 videos talking about Project Looking Glass, which many of you might know is at least, it's been reported for many years now, a top secret project where they found a device, created a device. It's kind of unclear where they could see future timelines. Now, this group has come out just a month ago and talked about event number 1, event number 2, and then the singularity event. So that's 2030. But the event 1 was basically, they said that there were 2 possibilities, and in the how they called it negative timeline, there would be a bombing in New York City on April 18th. And in their language, this is me just saying what they're saying in a video, this could be changed and prevented if a lot of people find out about it and change the attention, change the trajectory. Now, there's a lot of common sense logic to this. Just saying, in the past, when plans about something were unveiled, then it usually, those who had those plans and had nefarious plans couldn't just like that go through with it. They had to either adjust or throw them out the window. But what we saw this morning is, I have a weird feeling in the pit of my stomach because I'm going to read to you what happened this morning in New York City. So 5 people were shot Tuesday morning at a subway station in Brooklyn, New York. Law enforcement sources said, I'm reading from a news article here. Fire personnel responding to reports of smoke at the 36th Street station in the Sunset Park neighborhood found multiple people shot and undetonated devices, a New York City Fire Department spokesperson said. The fire department said 13 people were injured, but there were no details on what those injuries entailed. According to multiple law enforcement sources briefed on the investigation, preliminary information indicated a suspect fled wearing a construction vest and a gas mask. Now, I think, unfortunately, New York City and shootings, this is not news, unfortunately. It's happening all the time. But the undetonated devices that were found definitely caught our attention. Now, the bombing was kind of described in the videos as a little bit of a different scenario, but we haven't taken this as matter of fact, something that needs to be discussed, and that's how Frank and I have approached the subject over the 2 interviews. Something that we need to talk about now. Given today's report, at least it feels like something has already shifted, but this is part of a bigger picture. And why we're bringing this out is because these subjects are going to float around for a long time. News articles are going to float around. Other commentators are going to speak about it. And one thing that we emphasize is that this is not coming from a place of fear or to instigate fear. This is the most important message for us. Here's a fact, and this is something that if you don't want to hear it, you don't want to hear it, but that is a fact. We are living through World War III. We're living in a wartime It is the war against humanity itself, against what makes us human, against what makes us spiritual beings. All of that is being fought on all fronts. And so acknowledging this is simply accepting that this is going on right now. It isn't accepting the fate, it isn't accepting the outcome. And our intention is always that, or basically our foundation for everything we do is truth. We're seeking truth. We never claim to have found it or found the holy grail of truth. But what we're saying is we're seeking truth because in our lives, whenever we dug deep enough to get to the foundation of truth, we could transform and change and heal and truly thrive in all areas of our lives. And so if this works on a small scale, it has to work on a big scale. This is how we view things. That's why we are never closing our minds off to ideas, new perspectives. We're all learning and evolving here. Again, if you go and look at the Looking Glass videos, the Guardians of the Looking Glass, if you go and look at our interviews, we're discussing this. We're simply saying, yes, it is a strange time, and stranger things have happened. We have to assume that if we have the inner technology inside of us, and so many have already proven this, that we can bend or bend the reality so we can see future timelines, remote viewing, we have premonitions and dreams, we have visions about what's going to happen, and that comes true. So we have that technology inside of us. It isn't far-fetched that someone at some point or groups of people have tried to duplicate this in the technological way and create technological devices that would be able to do that. That there's nothing strange about this to me. Of course, what we're seeing unfold is, as always, that people, maybe even non-humans, are using technology or abusing or misinforming about it to further their own agendas. And so, in our mind, rather than moving closer and closer to a completely technocratic age where technology is at the center of everything, we want to encourage people to go within and find their own inner divine technology, find their own inner light, and create their own visions. And at this time, we need to be hyper focused. We need to be also aware of what is happening, so we know what we can even put energy into, what we can support, who we can align with. And I wanted to bring this to your attention because even though today something negative, it isn't, I mean, when people shoot each other and there's violence, there's hardly a way to put a positive spin on this. It's just something part of our current but maybe not future reality. We wanted to bring attention to this because perhaps through your attention, perhaps through your sharing, discussing this, and creating a better and more beautiful vision, events were softened, timelines were shifted, and some things might have changed because of that. Because the initial outlook for April 18th, which was much grimmer and darker, now this is it's just a hypothesis. It's just something to look at, not something to take at face value. And we are in these times. A lot of things that we didn't believe were even possible, we're going to have to consider that they're possible. We're going to have to allow ourselves to expand our minds. But most importantly, most importantly, I want to show you something here. Love wins. Most importantly, this has been our mantra from the get-go. It's always going to be our mantra that everything we do needs to come from an intention of love. And if you feel fearful, if fear is something that keeps creeping up, it is something that's deep inside of you that's being triggered. If you forgive that, if you can go back into that deep space and forgive whatever caused this, you will be able to observe and look at things with this pure intention of love. Even if these are things that might not seem pleasant, you can still look at them from a completely different vibration and actually bring healing light to those situations. So our approach is not to avoid darkness, but to actually shine our lights as brightly as we can and walk right into the darkness, walk right into those dark places, and shine a bright light right there so we can transform it. That's what we have been all about since the get-go. And I can just tell you, my gut feeling or my feeling inside is something has been strange, even stranger than usual for the past weeks, 2, 3 weeks, I want to say. Even before we came about this information, we felt it. We felt another glitch in the matrix, shift in the reality, and this is just something we're exploring all together here. So this is what we wanted to bring to you this morning. If you want to watch the interviews that we did with Frank Jacobs, he went very extensively, and he comes from a beautiful, conscious place of exploring these topics. In the two interviews, you can see the links in the description. We put a little playlist together. You can also hop over to our platform on Locals, inspired.locals.com. Sign up for free and watch the interviews completely free of charge. There's been some misconception, confusion about this. We never charge for these videos. As a matter of fact, a large portion of our content on Locals is absolutely free of charge. There is a membership, a subscriber, I should better say, a supporters section that people can, where they can pay $5 a month or $50 a year and be supporters and get exclusive content. But that's not the case for these interviews. Just to remind everyone, it's absolutely free of charge. Thank you for joining us there. We're creating a uncensored, unfiltered, unapologetically free community there, simply because it's a platform that has promised us that they will never censor us. They have their own infrastructure, that's Locals, and they are belong to Rumble. Actually, these two companies belong together. So this has just been a good step for us, and we love that you joined us there. If you haven't yet, please do. Link is in the description again. But again, please meditate. Please go out in nature. Please hug each other. If you have someone to hug, I can tell you, if right now you don't have someone in your life to hug, I mean, not to be corny or cheesy, right? But you can put a little sign up, a cardboard sign. It says free hugs, and you can go somewhere out in public. I can promise you, people will want a hug. It's a time like that. We're we're shining lights. We can be shining lights. We can be loving lights, and we have to be. It's simply this time. At the same time, um, don't put your head in the sand and lie to yourself. There has never, ever in our history, and Christina's worked with now thousands of clients over the years in group settings, in one-on-one sessions. I've worked with many clients. Never, ever has anything good come out of ignoring something or pretending it's not there, because that does not change it. It just means you're not acknowledging it, but it's still having an effect on you. But coming to this and wanting to heal it and looking for ways to heal it, to forgive it, and to transform it, that is the way to go. That is what will set free all the beautiful things inside of you and for your future. This is what we aim to bring. And last but not least, sometimes people ask us, why do you share something like this here on your channel? Why is it not this? Why is it not that? The truth is, we call this channel Inspired because it's the spirit within us, in the spirit, that guides us towards topics, people, and anything and everything that we deem right at this moment in time. It might not be for you, but it's for us because we feel it, and that's when we share it. And so, yeah, that's the gist of it for today. Thank you for tuning in, Tribe. A lot of wonderful things are coming up in the next days, a lot of interviews. We have some wonderful guests back on the show that we can't wait to share with you. But for now, I encourage you, go, if you haven't yet looked at the first, look at and watch the first Guardians of the Looking Glass interview with Frank Jacob, and the second one posted this morning. Just go ahead, watch it too. I believe there'll be a lot of positive expansion from this. All right, Tribe. Thank you so much. We love you all, and we'll tune back in with you very soon.